Okay, looking at our 5 under 5 quadratics questions. So the first, we want to factorise and solve them and then sketch the numbers 2 and 3. So first one we've got, we're looking for common factor first. We get x squared minus 9, which we then can see is difference of two squares, x squared minus 3 squared. So we know that that will be x, 4 outside of x take away 3, x plus 3 equals 0. So then our x will be equal to 3 or negative 3. Then we've got a quadratic. We've got a equals 3, b equals negative 5, c is equal to negative 2. Our AC is equal to negative 6 and b is equal to negative 5. So the two numbers that will multiply to give negative 6 but add to give negative 5 are going to be negative 6 and 1. So we'll write 3b squared take 6b plus b take 2 is equal to 0. So looking at the first two terms, to factorise we get 3b outside of b take away 2 plus 1 outside of b take away 2 equals 0. So we get 3b plus 1 as one of our brackets and b take 2 is the other bracket, which means our b is equal to 2. Or we've got 3b plus 1 is equal to 0, so 3b is equal to negative 1, so b is equal to negative 1 on 3. For number 3, we've been asked to complete the square. So looking at those first two terms, we know we're going to have x plus 3 squared. When we expand that, we get x squared plus 6x plus 9, except we have minus 16, so we need to take away 25. So we've got x plus 3 squared take 25. And then if we want to factorise and solve that, we will treat it like difference of two squares because we've got x plus 3 squared minus 5 squared. So we would have x plus 3 take 5 or x plus 3 plus 5. If we do that, we get x take away 2 and x plus 8, which means our x is equal to 2 or negative 8. For number 4, we then want to sketch our equation from number 3. So y equals x squared plus 6x minus 16. So we already have our turning point because we did our completing the square into turning point form. So our turning point is going to be negative 3, negative 5. We already have our x-intercepts because we solved up there. So they're equal to or negative 8. Our y-intercept, we can go back to that original and we've got negative 16. So we are now ready to sketch. So we are going down to negative 16. We've got 2 and negative 8. And our turning point is going to be at negative 3 and negative 5. So looking at that, we might want to check back at our turning point. And we had, 25. Negative 25 is our turning point. So we need to bring that down further. So then we have our curve. So being careful that one, I went to the wrong line. Then our last question is we're going to sketch number 2. So we've got y is equal to, and we'll put that into with x's and y's. We've got 3x squared minus 5x and take away 2. We already know that our x-intercepts, because we did our solve on this one, are negative 1/3 and 2. Our y-intercept we can see is going to be negative 2. So we just need our turning point. Now we can do that by looking at halfway between those two or doing negative b on negative 2a. So that would be 5 on negative 6. Otherwise we can do that by adding by doing 2 take away negative 1/3. And then we can change that to the fraction and we get 7 on 3 there. So our halfway point is that 7 on 3. And if we'd done that back up here, we would have had, so double checking that one there, 2, 3, and divided by 2. Got to divide that by 2 because we're looking for half of that, which is our 7 on 6. And so now we have our turning point at 7 on 6. We want to put that back into our equation to find out our y value for that. So I'm going to use my quick way of just doing that graph and using the value there to find when it is 7 over 6, and we get negative 3.75. And so now we can sketch our graph. So we've got our y-intercept at negative 2. We've got our turning point at 7 on 6 and at negative 3.75. And we've got our 2 there and our negative 1/3 for our intercepts. And there is our sketch.